Greetings, fellow Ambazonians at home and abroad. Today, we have come to you to give a reaction and to send a message to our people and to the United States government and the international community about an announcement that have been made by the United States Attorney General of Maryland, Mr. Eric Barron, regarding the sentencing of an Ambazonian male who reside in the United States of America for trafficking arms from the United States of America to Nigeria. My name is Capo Daniel. I am the spokesperson of the Ambazonian Governing Council, and we have come to put out this official statement in reaction to the announcement of the sentencing of this Ambazonian by name Mr. G. Mr. G and Mr. Chair Fungo, who are going through this process. There are also other 7 Ambazonians who are also residents in the United States of America that await their sentencing. They were convicted in the 6th of May 2022. We want to let our people know Mr. G has been sentenced to over 5 years in federal prison for illegally transferring firearms from the United States of America to Nigeria. There will be more sentencing coming for the other Ambazonians who have been convicted for these same charges. We want to come and let our people know the facts of this case, because the Cameroon government seeks to politicize this process and seek to use this case as propaganda to further its objective to undermine our sovereignty. We want to let our people know, especially those who are in the diaspora, even though the intent of these Ambazonians was to help Ambazonians in ground zero to defend themselves and to protect themselves, this case has nothing to do with charges or condemnation of their motive. This is a specific case of a breach of domestic laws in the United States of America regarding firearms. Even though the crime in question here was as a result of people trying to do something good, the case has nothing to do with their intent or with their motive, but everything to do with the act of breaching a domestic law of arms trafficking. We want our people to know very well that this case, this conviction, this indictment is not an indictment against the support of self-defense. It is not an indictment or conviction against standing for the right of independence and separation for Ambazonia. It has everything to do with the breach of firearms transfer. We also want to reinforce to our people that the United States Justice Department and its Attorney General are not in the business of targeting Ambazonians in the diaspora who are supporting self-defense through legitimate means. We want our people to know that the United States of America do not oppose Ambazonians standing up for the rights of their people back home. The United States of America is the primary supporter of the right of self-determination across the globe and has not changed their position vis-a-vis the humanitarian crisis in Ambazonia. We also want to let our people know that the United States government of America had approved the TPS status for Ambazonia in June 2021 to protect our people against political persecution and the risk that the government of Cameroon poses to our people, so Ambazonians can benefit from Americans' protection and hospitality during this period where we go through tremendous risk of genocide from the state of Cameroon. The United States of America had also appealed to the Ambazonian leadership in the diaspora and the Cameroon government to enter into dialogue without precondition. The Ambazonian Governing Council and the leading Ambazonian movement have all accepted to get into negotiation without precondition. We have seen us demonstrating our willingness to negotiate in Canada. We have committed to unconditional negotiation with the state of Cameroon and the state of Cameroon and its officials are the party that are dragging their feet on the negotiation table, while the family of Mr. Nji are contemplating to appeal their sentencing. We are going to continue to monitor this process, and we intend to appeal to the United States Justice Department and to the President of the United States of America to have compassion and grant pardon to these Ambazonians who are simply trying to do the right thing to defend their people and help in a humanitarian crisis. We want to remind the United States of America, who voted for Ambazonians' right of self-determination in the United Nations General Assembly Resolution 1608, to stand up for human rights in Ambazonia just as they are doing in Ukraine. The United States of America is fighting hard to defend the international rule-based system in Ukraine, which is the same principle that applies in Ambazonia. In Ambazonia, just like in Ukraine, one country which is bigger and more powerful thinks because of its historic past has rights over our territorial integrity and sovereignty. The state of Cameroon, because of our past history during the time of German occupation, thinks somehow Ambazonia is part of their territory, and our identity as an Ambazonians is a fake and a fiction of our imagination. The Cameroon government have dismissed the basis of our statehood and the right of our people to self-determination. We appeal to the conscience of America to stop the hypocrisy and defend the right of sovereignty for the Ambazonian people just as they are doing for the Ukrainian people. Black lives too matter in Ambazonia. While we appreciate the effort of the United States to continually call for a comprehensive negotiation that addresses the root causes of this conflict, we appeal to the United States of America to show leniency to these Ambazonians who, like millions of Americans, are helping the people back home in their various countries to fight for human rights. Along the way, in doing so, people might have made mistakes, and we are waiting for the right time to appeal directly to the President of the United States from the Ambazonia Governing Council to have leniency to these individuals. We appreciate the fact that the district judge in this case chose the lower bar in sentencing guideline to give the minimum possible sentence to Mr. Nji. We hope the same leniency will be shown to the rest of those Ambazonians who were simply trying to help a humanitarian situation back home. And to all Ambazonians who are in the diaspora and are concerned about this neglected crisis back home, who see on a daily basis the Cameroon government and its officials, such as the case recently in Boya, where Cameroon Elite Force officer Mr. Eweme Eko John executed with impunity 2 university students and displayed their dead body on our street. Those Ambazonians who go through this trauma in the diaspora and are powerless, and the only thing they can do to stop the impunity of the Biya regime is to support our people to be able to have a chance to defend themselves, to continue to do the right thing and support self-defense. And we advise them not to breach any international law or any local law in doing so. In our campaign to defend our people and to fight for the right of self-determination, we make sure our instructions to our soldiers and our forces on the ground are within the bounds of international law and our code of conduct that is in line with the Geneva Convention and other humanitarian laws of war. We will continue to fight this war honorably and appeal to countries that have democratic value to stand up for the international rule-based system in Cameroon as they are doing in Ukraine. Thank you very much.